Hello friends, CS Anuja this side. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at the registration process for the June 2026 attempt. Now, for those of you who wish to attempt both modules in June 2026, the registration date is already over, that is in November 2025. But if you're looking to still write any one module for the June 2026 attempt, then this video is for you. All right. So, what is the last date for your registration process for the June 2026 attempt? The last date is 31st January 2026, but please understand that you are eligible only for one module, either module 1 or module 2 of the CS executive course. Ma'am, is it compulsory to write module 1 first and then go on to module 2? The answer is no. You can attempt any one module for your attempt. Okay, so how do you go about the registration process itself? Well, first and foremost, go to just open up Google and type ICSI. Okay, go to the home page of ICSI and you will see this tab known as online services. Now, depending on where you are in the process, have you completed your CSET or are you coming in through the direct entry level? Depending on that, you have to choose your option. Now, I'm choosing the direct entry level for the CS executive level. Friends, these are the documentation that you have to keep ready before you actually start your process. What is this documentation? First and foremost, you need to have the photograph. Now, your photograph should be in a particular format. That is, they've clearly said over here that come down to the second last line. The file size of the student photo should be anywhere between 20 KB to 50 KB. And then even the signature of the candidate. Now, ideally, what you can do is you can take out a piece of paper, put your signature on that, and use a scanning app so as to scan it and keep it ready. Even your signature should be anywhere between 10 KB to 20 KB. Then keep your date of birth certificate ready. Now, for the date of birth certificate, you only need your 10th pass certificate. But here I'll just ask you to keep one thing in mind. Make sure that the name in your 10th pass certificate and your date of birth certificate itself, that is your birth certificate, should be the same. At this stage, it's not going to cause you any trouble, but at the time of getting your CS membership, there might be some issues if your name is changed. So keep this in mind, but make sure to have your 10th pass certificate ready. Now, apart from this, since you are coming into the direct entry level, there are you are eligible for two types of registration. Now, if you've already gotten your degree certificate or your graduation certificate, then there's absolutely no worries. But if you are a student who's applying, who's still in sitting in your final semester of your graduation, your college, even then you can apply for the examination. So make sure to keep one of a qualification certificate ready with you. Now, what is this qualification certificate is? If you need to have your 12th mark certificate or your graduation pass certificate. Now, it's not just the graduation pass, there is also a document known as the consolidated mark sheets. This your college will provide to you, and it is a very important document to keep with you. Now, apart from these things, if you are a final level student of the CA course or your cost management course, even then you are eligible for direct entry. So if you have those certificates, then keep that ready with you. Now, for those of you who are writing your final semester examinations for your college, if you have your hall ticket or even your final semester admit card, even then you are eligible to enter. Now, all of these details I've given in videos on detailed videos on how to go about registering for the CS executive exam, as well as provisional registration and what are the things that you have to keep in mind while provisionally registering. So go ahead and watch these videos for better understanding. Apart from this, you need to have your category certificate as well as an identity proof. Now, even though they're saying that you need to have any one, a PAN card or Aadhaar card, it's better to have both of them. If you don't have a PAN card, make sure to have one Aadhaar card and at least your driving license. Okay, friends, so with this, these are the documentations that you will need before you actually register. Now, this entire process is online. You can submit all these documents. You just simply press proceed to registration. And if you follow the instructions in the video that I have put out earlier on in my channel, then the process should be completely easy for you. All right, so let's come back to understanding the process of actually writing your examinations. Like I said, the registration is a one time process only. Okay, so if you have a question, ma'am, if I'm writing one module in June 2026, then do I need to register myself again so that I can write both modules in probably December or any other attempt after? The answer is no. You have to do only a one time registration process. However, before each attempt, you have to enroll yourself for that attempt. Now, enrollment will come every single time you are attempting a paper. So keep this in mind. But between registration and before your enrollment, there are two requirements for you to complete before you can actually enroll. This is known as the 3-day orientation program. That is a compulsory requirement. And apart from this 3-day orientation program, you also have to complete your pre-exam. Now, the pre-exam is required to be completed for the module that you are attempting. All right. So, if you are writing module 1, then the pre-exam should be completed for module 1. If you are writing module 2, then the pre-exam should be completed for module 2. Okay. Now, what are these module 1 and module 2 papers? Module 1 consists of 4 papers, and I've written the abbreviations for you in the side over here. This is your jurisprudence interpretation and general laws, JIGL. You have company law, setting up of business entities, and your corporate accounting and financial management. So there are a total of 4 papers in module 1, whereas in module 2 you have 3 papers: your capital markets and securities laws, your economic, commercial, and intellectual property laws, and your tax paper. So between module 1 and module 2, if you are enrolling for June 2026, which module should you attempt? I think that's the first question that most students have. That is, which module should I attempt? Well, for this, you need to understand that for module 1, since there are 4 papers, you already have more to study with respect to module 1. It is tougher because you have subjects like jurisprudence, company law, and corporate accounting, all which fall under the category of higher difficulty level papers. So generally, I will say that module 1 is more difficult as compared to module 2. Okay, for module 1, you need a minimum of 4 to 5 months of preparation, because you have more subjects, more amount of preparation. Even the length of the subjects are on the higher end. Whereas for module 2, you require anywhere between 3 to 4 months minimum preparation. Obviously, the maximum end, there is no end to our learning, but this is the minimum requirement. So that is why if you are attempting for the June attempt and you've not yet started, then it would be preferable if you went for module 2 papers. Okay, but if you're attempting in the December examination, then writing module 1 then would be more convenient. This has a very simple calculation. For the June attempt, you have the months of January to May. And even though we say that there is 5 months in between, technically 1 month has to go for your revisions, your analysis of question papers, your practice sessions, etc. And so roughly you have only 4 months of study. But then for module 1, you have the time between June to December. That gives you a good 6 months. Even if we keep aside 1 month for revisions, practice, etc., you still have a good 5 months to study. So, this is how I would suggest writing your module 1 and module 2 paper. But since we're on the topic of attempting for the June 2026 attempt, it would be a good idea for you to start out at module 2. There is a small note to keep in mind. Module 1 does have papers that there's a reason why some papers are there in module 1. You are introduced to laws, or you're introduced to company law in module 1. And so when you come to module 2, the concepts become a lot more easier. But if you start from module 2, you will feel a little disjointed because you will be studying these concepts for the first time. And then when you come to module 1, it may prove to be a little bit more difficult for you. But apart from that, if you have to look at the time limits, then this is the strategy to follow. All right. Your next question should be, should I attend classes or can I do a self study? This entirely depends on the nature of the module, which module you're attempting. Now, if you are attempting module 1 classes, okay, module 1, then definitely go for classes, because it is more difficult and there are a lot of technical concepts which require your in-depth understanding. And if you had to study it on your own, it would take you a lot of time to actually finish your study. But if you're doing a self study, then would I suggest module 2 for self study? Yes, I could suggest module 2 for self study, but this is provided that you have already completed module 1. If you are studying it for the first time, then I would suggest that you still go ahead for classes itself. Okay, so definitely do that. Now the question is, should you go for, my bad, should you go for online recorded classes, okay, or should you go for coaching? Well, it really depends on the amount of time that you have. If you are able to dedicate your full time towards going for a coaching center, then definitely go ahead to a coaching center. Again, it also depends on how close the coaching center is for you and your availability of resources. But if you look at online recorded classes, then they would be convenient for a lot of students because you can study at your own time, and more importantly, you can attend classes or watch these classes as many times as you want. Now, for this, I have to tell you that at the CS Mentor classes, we actually provide classes in the recorded mode, completely in English, and you even have unlimited views of your videos until your validity period gets over. So, for those of you who are looking for an online recorded mode of studying for classes, then we've got you covered. All right. So, the next thing is how to enroll for your CS Mentor classes. See, friends, we provide all of our classes through the app. Now, depending on whether you're an Android user or whether you're an iOS user, you can accordingly download the apps. In the Android, for Android users, you can simply type out CS Mentor and you will find the link using the logo that you see in the screen before you. But if you're an iOS user, then you have to download the My Institute app. I've even provided how the logo will look. Here, you will have to type in an organization code. Once you type in this organization code, then you can watch the classes just like the Android users. Okay, so what exactly do we provide for in the CS Mentor classes is, first and foremost, all the classes are in English. Okay, and since these videos are an in-depth coverage of the ICSI module, so you don't have to worry about missing out on anything or not understanding certain concepts. We've got you fully covered. And then the third thing is that you have unlimited views for your videos. All right, so you can watch them as many times as you like, provided that you are within the limit, the validity period. Subsequently, we also provide notes, because going through a 1,000-page book right before your examination will prove to be very difficult. So whether it's notes or whether it is case law sheets or any kind of material that would help you study a little bit better, we've got you covered. Then the fifth thing is that we also provide question answer analysis. So, whether this is past question papers or just questions that you have to analyze, your end of chapter questions, all of these will be discussed with you through our classes. Now, our team is a very experienced team. I myself have more than 8 years of experience teaching the subjects, and our team is also dedicated towards giving you the best learning possible for your classes. So, friends, if you are enrolling for the June attempt, go ahead and enroll immediately. You will require time to get your textbooks, go through the classes, and then start studying. So since we don't have that much time, go ahead and enroll immediately and start watching the classes. This is all from my end, and I will see you in the next video.